Hello, and welcome to my second entry in the Demon Bluff series. It's a social deduction game for one player where a bunch of characters are making statements, and you have to tell if they're telling the truth or lying. And if they're lying, if they're evil, or if they've just been corrupted by somebody who's evil. You'll see more specifics as I play the demo. It mostly speaks for itself as characters start making statements, and I'll explain certain keywords or phrases if ever they come up or they need to be. Last time we left off at finishing Ascension 3. Ascensions are just ranges of like 7 villages that you play back to back. Villages being one round of the game. So 14 rounds is quite a lot. I think this time I'm only going to stick to 7, especially because the deduction gets a lot harder as you go up in the Ascension ranks. That's a bug. Happens. Okay, so our deck. We have one outcast, either a drunk or a wretch, and we have one of the minion, one ba. We have 4 of these villagers, and they're going to be 7 on the board total. I would really like to know if the drunk is on the... Why did this just change? Must have been one of the glitches before where it was putting me into a new lobby. Okay, we still have the drunk though. I would like to know if the drunk is on the board or not, which I guess I can't do because the counselor here will create an extra outcast. So 1 goes onto the board, like the wretch or the bombardier, and then of the 4 villagers that go on the board, the counselor is going to sit beside one of them, and it's going to be this. Unless, wait, 1 villager becomes an outcast role. Yeah, I sit next to an outcast. So that means we've got a 3-2-1-1 split. So we've got 3 people that could be telling us the truth. And it's probably going to end up being that one of them is lying as the drunk. Whenever I see counselor, I always get unlucky and get like a doppelganger or like a hidden outcast card rather than seeing, oh, there's wretch, there's bombardier. The counselor can only be in like one of these 4 positions, one of these 3 positions. Let's open up some cards. We've got a Bombardier as one of our outcasts. We've got a Hunter. We've got Enlightened. We've got a Medium. I'm going to be clicking to open up all of these cards. In the previous rounds, I was trying to go for, unrevealed cards to get me more points. But I need to see if we get 2 outcasts that are like yellow on the borders, or if I have to run under one of my purple cards is lying and is a drunk. So I want to open the rest of them. Now here, the mediums are safe from being drunks. One of them has to be, telling the truth, and one of them has to be lying, because our only source of corruption is being a drunk. But a drunk, if you read it, says specifically that I disguise as a random not in play villager. In play being not the cards that you've revealed so far, but all of the cards on the board. So that means that the drunk is like solo. Well, okay. That doesn't give us enough information. I've actually made a fallacy. You can have this character be evil, and then this isn't a in-play villager. It's a disguise. Like it's not a villager. It's a disguised demon. So then this character could still be a drunk because the medium here isn't valid, I guess I could say. So I can't implicate the mediums at all yet. I would like to open up the last one. I was really, really hoping to see another outcast, but it makes sense that it doesn't happen. It doesn't show it to me. So one of these characters here has to be lying, and then they're corrupted. 2 more of them have to be lying because they're evil. So if I can find 3 people that are lying, I can start, shooting, because I get 1 free mistake. 2 if I hit an outcast character, because the outcast character makes me lose 4 HP. Hitting a regular character makes me lose 5 HP. Bombardier is special that you just lose all 10 HP right away. So if you're 2 cards away from the closest evil, I'm just going to assume that you're true. I'm going to start with an assumption here, and I'm going to say then that you are evil. You have, well, not that you have to be. This one could also have to be. Wait, 6 is a real drunk? I've never seen that like a medium is called out the drunk before. So the drunk is always going to lie. If the drunk is always going to lie, can I ask it about the medium down here and implicate both of them? I'm gonna do that and see like where that gets me. So the drunk If this is telling the truth and this is a drunk, then it means that both of these guys are safe, and that's my corruption out of the way. So then two of these characters here are lying. This character here would then, this medium would then have to be lying because there's no way that a drunk can copy it. It would have to be one of the evil characters that copied the medium. And if it's saying that 7 is a real architect, the architect then is not a real architect. It's a disguised architect, so it's lying. You are telling the truth. You're 2 away from the closest evil card. The closest evil card is clockwise. So everything else makes sense. I'm going to go with this assumption. There's the counselor. There's the architect. Nice. If this assumption was wrong, where these two are the evil characters, I would have been able to figure that out by killing this character first, seeing that, oh no, I made a mistake, and then like go over my options again. It's nice to have, I guess, like a life system where I'm allowed to make one mistake so that I don't have to prove that nothing else is possible. I just have to get close enough to where something's possible, and I'll try from there. Also, last episode I ended on a little bit of text at the end saying you got lucky, and I think that only happens when you finish a round by the game calculating that, hey, you broke a 50-50, like by chance you got this win, compared to me getting the win actually thereby like engineering a scenario in which I know the last evil character is in one of the spots rather than is possibly in one of 2 spots. I wonder if that you got lucky shows up on any kill. I'll be a little bit more I'll look into that a bit more. A shaman, this allows us to have 2 of the same villager roles in a current village, so the thing where I did with the mediums wouldn't be able to apply if I have the shaman around. And a bishop, you get to see 1 villager, 1 outcast, and 1 evil. If they're telling the truth, of course. Let's see what kind of cards we have in our deck. This is something you always need to do on the higher ascensions, because, well, on the higher ascensions, on any ascension, because you need to see where your corrupteds are. If you can understand, if there are 0 corruptions, that means that anybody that is lying, instantly evil, you can just get rid of them really quickly. But here we have 1 outcast on our board. Up here you can see by the, I'm going to call it like the little wing icon. That means that we're guaranteed to have a drunk in our deck, meaning we're guaranteed to have 1 liar that isn't evil. So we'll have 3 liars, 2 evil characters. The alchemist can't cure the drunk, by the way. So if the alchemist says that he is, I guess the alchemist itself could be a drunk then. But at least we can like understand that the alchemist, I've cured 0 corruptions. That has to be the truth. So this guy has to be telling the truth. A slayer. He could be corrupted, which then means that he'll just execute any character, I believe, or he might like tell you that he's not going to. I think he tells you the wrong information about being able to execute a character. So like if you pick an evil and he himself is evil, he's going to say, no, I won't do that. And if you pick a good character and he is evil, I think he executes it. Yeah. So I need to make sure that he's safe first before doing anything with him. We've got a 2nd alchemist. So that means that... Wait, what? Okay, so a drunk has to disguise as a random not-in-play villager. It's corrupted and lied. I cannot be cured. Are cured from corruption, but it says that you can't be cured. Okay, so there has to be a different source of corruption then for these guys, right? Because we can't have 2 alchemists. No, we have a shaman. We have a shaman, which allows us to have 2 alchemists naturally. So then you are also telling the truth. Okay. The right side is more evil. That would mean that we would have to have a demon here. Sorry. If this guy is telling the truth, that means that these 2 are the demons. I could honestly rip it early, but it's more likely that this is a demon, and then we have to find another one elsewhere. If it's more likely that this is the demon and we have to find another one elsewhere, that means the left side is more evil. We're not choosing anything on the right side. So then I could use the Slayer to try to kill it. And if you couldn't kill 4, that means that you're good and you're good. But, oh, hold on. Okay. If the right side is more evil and you are telling the truth, that means that these 2 have to be evil. And if you're evil, you would have executed this person, right? So then that creates a contradiction. So then you're not able to be green. That was the assumption I started this out with. So now if the right side is not more evil and the left side is, that means that you're one evil character. You can't play it on the middle card that this guy is safe, and then one of these guys is evil. Meaning that you're good then? But then that means that you would have killed him if you were evil. No, you could have been corrupted. You're the drunk. You are the drunk. So the baker. This one is a little bit of a weird card. A random, unrevealed good villager becomes a baker. So because I know that, what is it? Like, if this was an evil card or a corrupted card, they would say something like, I was an alchemist, I was a slayer. They wouldn't say their original baker, or they could say that they are a baker. But because this one is saying that it's an original baker, I already know that it's not lying. This is truthful. So if I open up another one here that is a baker, then I know that they are also, truthful as well. Now, if this one is the drunkard and it's saying, wait, the right side is more evil, then that means that that's a lie. So the left side is more evil. So then you are fine. And I guess any of these three cards can still be evil. So it doesn't matter which one I pick to open up. Scout. A shaman is 3 cards away from the closest evil. That has to be a lie. I could just kill you right now. Yep. And then one of these 2 cards is. So instead of revealing them, because I know that this is a 50-50 now, that I've like put everybody else as either being a good character but corrupted or just straight up good, the evil has to be here. I can get some extra points for not revealing the card, and maybe I hit the 50-50. If I don't, losing health doesn't lose me any points. So that's Baker, and yeah, the Baker transformed that good villager into a bard, and then we killed him, the last minion. Okay, a puppeteer. A random adjacent villager becomes evil, but it cannot lie. It lies in disguises. So I need to kill a good character at some point. It's kind of nice where if you like accidentally make a false statement and you kill an innocent, that innocent that is telling the truth can be a puppet and you like get saved from your own mistakes. We've got a witch, which means I cannot reveal the last card. We've got a plague doctor, so there's one source of corruption and anything can be corrupted. And we've got a puppeteer. Not anything can be corrupted. The puppet beside the puppeteer cannot be, and the puppeteer and the witch can't be. So that means that there's going to be like one villager that is evil, that is guaranteed to be telling the truth, that can't be corrupted. Let's start. If evil picked, executed. Nothing that we can do with that. 2 evils adjacent to it, which if you're telling the truth, there's evil, evil, and then the last evil has to be one of these 2. So if I'm inclined to believe you, I'm just going to stick with that. We are most likely to get like pertinent information by opening up these cards. There are 2 pairs of evil. That's impossible if there are 2 adjacent evils. These 2 are going against each other. Let's assume that there are pairs. By pairs, it just means things that are beside each other. Because we don't have 4 evils, we can't do like 1, 2, 3, 4. But you can do 1, 2, 3 like this instead. And that is considered 1 pair, 2 pair. If there's 2 adjacent evils, that splits some of them, and it's not able to do this. If there are 2 pairs, it puts all of them on one side. So that means that one of these guys is either corrupted or evil. Let me put these back. I'm going to open up this card next. We've got a knight. A knight could be corrupted, so I don't want to shoot it yet. I'm looking for the plague doctor. Okay, a slayer. So one of these guys is suspicious because we don't have anything that can... Yeah, we don't have anything that can duplicate, copy a good villager. Nothing I can do with the slayers yet. Let's open up 8. See what that is. A baker. I am the original baker. They can't be corrupted or lying. They're telling the truth. Let's open up 4. And we've got a plague doctor. So I can't open this last card and see if there's another Plague Doctor back here. That is a possibility, however unlikely. I could just assume that this guy is telling the truth and run with that and try to get the rest of the round, which is what I'm going to do. It might lead me into a false statement, but then I'll be able to figure out like, oh, this Plague Doctor is evil because he's not able to be corrupted. So it's like a 50-50 that I'm fine with. If I get the wrong answer, I know for sure one evil, and then I can use the information from the rest of the board to try to figure out where the other evil is. So if I want to test corruption, I would test one of the Slayers, right? No, I don't need to. I don't need to. I could test the Knight for corruption, and if it's saying that it's corrupted, then what is it? I don't press like the kill button on it, but the Plague Doctor will tell me where I do press the kill button. If it isn't corrupted, then I can try killing it, and it's either an evil and it dies, or it's good and it can't die. So we pick this character. It's saying that it's not corrupted, so we can test it. And it's a puppeteer. Nice. So the puppeteer means that there's going to be a guy that is telling the truth beside him. So the Slayer, let's see if you can kill this puppeteer. You couldn't kill it, meaning that you are suspicious, meaning that you are the puppet. Let's see. 2 evils adjacent to you. You got corrupted from the Plague Doctor, and you are whatever good card. Yeah, I like that. There's the puppet that's telling the truth, and then there's the 2 pairs. Nice. Pick one character. Learn an evil role. If evil picked, learn correct info. So wait, learn tells you. Character tells you information, and hold on. So I think it's just if you have an evil card, you can tell if the dreamer is lying or not by pointing them towards the evil card. So it's like a worse judge. It's not asking them about a statement, it's just asking them about an evil character in particular. So you need to find one evil character before you're allowed to use the dreamer. Okay, 1 card away from a corrupted character. Let's see what we have. We've got a Plague Doctor in play and a Doppelganger in play because we've got 2 outcasts that we're running. A Puppeteer and a Witch, so this is our only form of corruption. So if we're taking you to be true, that means that one of the corrupted cards is here, and we could test it with the Plague Doctor. We could test it at a 50-50 rate. We'll open up more cards. 4 or 5 as a puppet. If these guys are corrupted, and I'm assuming this bar to be true, I'm just going to. I shouldn't be opening these cards because they're giving me false information, or they're likely to. We've got 2 oracles, but that's fine because a doppelganger disguises as a good villager that's in play. So that means that these 2, because they're giving me the same information, like I'm likely to think that this is a doppelganger that copied it. It could be that, what is it? Both the puppeteer and the witch are these 2, and then 4 is a puppet. Sorry, no. Okay, if these 2 are the bad characters, that means that this guy has to be the puppet because these guys have to be telling a false statement. And if we put the 4 here, if we put the puppet on number 4 here, it would be false. So that means that you are evil, but you are also telling the truth as a puppet. So then that means that this guy has to be corrupted. So if I find a Plague Doctor anywhere, I'm going to immediately test this card. Show me a Plague Doctor. Slayer. Could be corrupted, not going to use them. Baker. I was a bard. That is a lie. So you are either corrupted or evil. I'm going to leave you as corrupted for now. Alchemist. Cured 0 corruptions. It doesn't do anything for me. We'll open up 4. There's the Plague Doctor. So now we test the 8 card. So 8 is corrupted, but it's saying that 7 is evil. So hold on. If 8 is corrupted, that means that you are telling the truth. You 2 could also be telling the truth after that, honestly. And that you are not a puppet. There's a chance. There's a chance that this Plague Doctor is duplicated up here, but no, there isn't, because this one has to be an outcast at the end because we're supposed to have 2 outcasts. No, it's a doppelganger, so it's not going to show yellow. So I'm going to assume that one of these guys is a doppelganger. This is the Plague Doctor. So we can't make any assumptions about the last card, but we can say that the puppet doesn't disguise itself as a Plague Doctor. So then the puppet is here. So you're telling the truth that you cured 0 corruptions. That makes sense with where we placed the corruption, which was up here. You are then an evil character. You're the puppet. You're the puppeteer. You're the puppet. Let me see if that works. Yes. Then you're the puppet. And now I need to figure out where, which card is it? The witch is. Oh, and I'm not even able to reveal that last card. I was thinking about opening it up for some information, but more points. More points stop me from doing that. 4 or 5 being a puppet, you're fine. You're 1 card away. You're telling the truth, which means that you're the only card left that is evil. Because this card would like upgrade itself to evil if it was the witch, which means that the bard is false. That creates 2 evil characters. That doesn't work. Learn a character that was affected by an evil ability. Let's see. We've got 2 outcasts in the deck. We've got a drunk that's going to hide itself somewhere, and we've got a plague doctor as corruption, and we got Puka. We have 4 sources of corruption guaranteed. I'm hoping that the alchemist does some work for me. The closest evil is clockwise. I mean, with 4 corruptions, I'd like need to open up most of the board to see if I can like. I don't know if there's like a better play for me here to be able to like reveal less cards to get more points. I've cured 1 corruption. It's possible. There's only 1 pair of evil. So if you're true, then Puka and the witch are beside each other. That gets rid of one of Puka's corruptions, which is kind of nice. A Slayer could be corrupted or evil. The Plague Doctor. I guess we could open up all the cards to see if there's like a second Plague Doctor. One of these is disguising as. Bishop. Between 6, 7, and 5, there is a villager, an outcast, and a minion. So this one is saying that either you are evil, you're good, and you are the outcast, or it could be that this is a copied person, this is a drunk, and you're a villager, and that still works. Or you could be lying, and you could be a drunk, you could be good, and you could be good. So there's too many options here to get any useful information from the bishop. A second Plague Doctor. That complicates things. It doesn't put any extra, what is it, like... It doesn't put any extra corruptions out there, because it's a game start ability on the Plague Doctor. You disguise it afterwards, after the game starts. 7 or 2 is a witch. Hard to tell, and I can't open up the last card because of the witch. Okay. So, if you cured this corruption, which, wait, you can't. If you're a drunk, the drunk cannot be cured. You could have cured this corruption over here. I don't know if there's a good enough way without me killing somebody to know for certain if somebody's corrupted or not. And I think what's going to give me the most information is killing one of the Plague Doctors to be able to get them to lie about a corruption. And then I can use the other Plague Doctor that isn't the evil character to know about a corruption. I get to know 2 corruptions specifically. I like that. So I'm just going to kill one of them. 4 is the number of death. Damn, okay. So then this one is the incorrect one. Okay, it's a witch. I could reveal this card if I want to. I'm not going to yet. So the witch is going to lie about who is or isn't corrupted. And we can't positionally place Puka based off of that because of our Plague Doctors, which sucks. I think I am going to reveal this card to see if there's any pertinent info I want to. I am the original baker. You have to be telling the truth. You could have cured 1 corruption then. 7 or 2 is a witch. That is a false statement. You could be corrupted. Let's see if you're corrupted or evil. So the Plague Doctor here is going to be telling the truth. So you are corrupted and you're telling me that 9 is evil, and I know this character is true, so I can just kill 9, which means that you didn't cure any corruptions because this character is corrupted, this character is corrupted, these ones aren't, and these two could still be corrupted. That makes enough sense to me. I'm gonna shoot the alchemist. Yep. Oh, the drunk got corrupted. The drunk got corrupted and this one didn't. So we have 1 from a plague doctor, 2 from Puka, and then 1 from the drunk. Yeah. Hey, it works. Poet, learn random info. Okay. We've got a Puka, we've got a poisoner, and we've got a drunk. So maximum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lies out of 9. We've got a judge, we've got a bishop, a jester, not anything that can give me enough information yet. So I can tie the gem crafter and the judge together if I want to. I think I will. No. Yeah. I'll wait on the judge by another round. Medium. 9 is a real judge. Ooh. So there's no doppelganger that I have, right? It's a drunk, and a drunk can only disguise as a random not in play villager. So I have 2 judges. What can I do with 2 judges? I can see if either of them are lying to see if they're corrupted or evil. If this one is saying 9 is a real judge, I can ask it about the gem crafter. So let's say that 9 isn't a real judge and this guy is corrupted. That means that you are not real. You have been corrupted. And then you are not real, which is also an enemy here. Okay, hold on. That would put all of my evils down, and it gives me 1 option for corruption. Between 4, 6, and 8. 4, 6, and 8. There's a minion, there's a villager, and there's an outcast. So one of the corruptions over here could be from a drunk. That, like, checks out enough. Or it could be that, 4, 6, and 8. It could be that there are 2 villagers over here, and this one is lying because it's a drunk or because it's been corrupted. I think I need to open up the cards. I think I need more information. Okay. Druid, learn if there's a outcast. So I know that these 2 are not outcasts. I can test this one for being a drunk. Or, okay, I could test to see if this is an evil character or not by pointing it at the 3 people that cannot be under this assumption. Right here, like this, there's a drunk. So then you're lying. You would be the drunk. But I've already said that, no, you've been corrupted by this character. It still checks out enough. You're 1 card away from a corrupted character. That checks out. The closest evil is clockwise. That checks out. Between 4, 6, and 8, there's an outcast, the drunk. There's a villager, and there is a minion. And then I'll check you. You have the chance of being corrupted with Puka here. Hold on, do I have Puka and Poisoner? Hold on, let me see what Poisoner says. 1 adjacent villager is corrupted if possible. So maybe... Oh wait, I think the if possible tag is going to be that if Puka is beside him and already corrupting 1, and he's got the option to re-corrupt somebody or corrupt somebody new, he's going to corrupt a new villager? I guess I can't make that assumption. It can re-corrupt. I don't like the ambiguous wording there, but, or not the ambiguous wording, but like the ambiguous mechanic. I'm just gonna have to run with it. I'll use the Jester and see if it's lying about these 3 being a card to give me there are 3 evils. So then that's telling the truth. So then this is the Poisoner. And then, wait, where does that put Puka then? Because Puka would have to be here and cause these 2 people to lie, or Puka would be here and cause these 2 people to lie. So this assumption about these 3 guys being evil is not correct. They're at worst corrupt. So if these guys are all corrupt, 4, 6, and 8. Let me get rid of the rest of them. This. You could be telling the truth about the drunk then, but I'm not going to lock that in. Among 4, 9, and 2, there are 3 evils. That is a lie, so this is also corrupt. That could be where the drunk is. And it would have to be... Wait, 4 is saying the truth of 2's... So that would mean that you're evil because the drunk is not among you guys. The drunk is this card. No, this can just be an evil. This can just be an evil. So it doesn't implicate the druid at all. It's got a chance of being the evil, and then that's Puka, and that gets 2 of them out of the way. You could be the drunk. You're 1 away from the corrupted character. That still makes sense. Among 4, 9, and 2 is the drunk. You're wrong, so you're evil. And then 9 is a real judge. That could be the drunk out of them. Yeah, that... Wait, no, I said that this is the drunk, right? Let me back up a bit here. I'm going to run under these assumptions here of these 3 guys all being, specifically corrupted, but not lying. The way that works is that you are evil and you are evil. The closest evil being clockwise. It could be that you are then evil because there's no drunk between these guys. You are lying, you're a drunk. Nine is a real judge is incorrect, but it's getting poisoned by this guy. Puka is giving the corruptions here. We've got a regular person here, and then between 4, not a drunk, 6, this, then you're the drunk. This checks out. Okay, this is a permutation that works, but it is made off of an assumption at the beginning, so we're going to hope that it's the correct one. I'm going to start by killing the druid, I think. Corrupted. Well, that changes things. Okay, time to remove everything. Okay, so if you're corrupted, you are lying, and you're not a drunk. So that means that there has to be an enemy beside you. You're 1 card away from a corrupted character. That means that you're telling the truth, which means that this has to be an evil character. If they're evil, before I kill them, I want to follow the line. Do I need to? I don't need to, right? There's no way for the druid to become corrupted other than being beside one of these characters, because it would have been outed as the drunk if that was how it got corrupted. So I can kill you. You're Puka, which means that you are corrupted or evil. 9 is a real judge. You are lying. So then you could be the drunk at that point. Among 9, 4, and 2 is drunk. But if you're corrupted, then that means that the drunk isn't among these 4. So that means that you have to be... You could still be... No. If it's a... Okay, if it's not a real judge, it has to be something that disguises itself as a judge, either a drunk or an evil character. This proves it to not be a drunk, so I can kill the judge up here. Nice. Okay, so now 4 is saying the truth. 4 is lying of saying that 2 is good, which could be that it's that it is corrupted by Puka. And 2 is good. This could mean that it is either corrupted or evil. I think it just means that it's evil. And 4 is not saying the truth. That backs that up. Among 4, 9, and 2, there are 3 evils. This one isn't evil, so then you have to be lying, and you are the poisoner, and you've hit that one. So then you would have to be true, because there's no more corruption sources left. Wait, there are. No. You could be a drunk. I think you can also be... Okay, No, I'd have to prove somebody's the drunk if I want to try shooting them to like get more information. And then if I've already proven them as being the drunk, then it doesn't matter. I'm going to hit the judge here. Close, closest evil clockwise. You're true. You're true. You're the drunk or you're the drunk. I mean, you also have a chance of being at that point. 4, 6, and 8. Villager. Oh, not an outcast. What? You are incorrect. You have to be the drunk. You've been corrupted by Puka, or you have also been corrupted by the judge. Oh, okay. Okay. So the judge is, with these guys all being incorrect on this side, Puka has to hit 2 people, the judge has to hit 1 person, and the bishop has to be the drunk, or like, okay, we have to have 1 drunk, we have to have 1 lying for being evil, we have to have 2 other people being, what is it, corrupted by Puka or the poisoner. So the poisoner has to be in a position that is poisoning someone. I guess that doesn't give me any information because it could be poisoning from anywhere. He could be poisoning from up top and down here. I mean, he couldn't be down here. The poisoner couldn't be beside Puka. I'm going to send it on the judge. Okay. So I want to assume that 2 being good just is like a binary option between good and evil, not but try like a tertiary option between good, corrupted, and evil. I'd have to do a bit more test. Like I'd have to see it fail. Like if I tried hitting the poisoner here, then I'd know that 2 could be incorrect by it being corrupted instead of being evil. And I also didn't see like you got lucky this time. Maybe I just glanced over it. But if I don't see a you got lucky, then I think that's the case. Like if it's provably in that location, it has to be the poisoner, which means that it is a binary option between good and evil. Okay, new option. Lilith. At night, kill a random unrevealed character, deal 2 damage to you. What does it mean by at night? Night cycle. When you reveal a card, the clock ticks. After 4 ticks, the night falls. During the night, some demons might kill and various characters can take action. After every character has acted, the game returns to daytime. Okay, so I get to choose 4 cards before Lilith kills somebody. If I choose 4 cards, Lilith kills somebody, I choose 4 more cards. I can reveal 8 of them. But it also does 2 damage to my health. So I guess that's not too bad. Because I still have at least like 1 hit of a good villager and I'm safe, you know? Let's see what the options in my deck are. Plague Doctor. So we've got 2 forms of corruption out there. We've got like no information so far, so I just have to keep going. Not gonna be able to know if 8 is a puppet. We got a Plague Doctor. We got a Confessor saying that they're good. That's good. If I wanted to, I could test if the Plague Doctor is truthful by hitting the Confessor, but I think I'd rather use the Plague Doctor to test somebody else. So I'm going to reveal all the cards, foregoing a few points just to get more information. So the Plague Doctor the Plague Doctor doesn't have to be good because we've got a card in the top left that could be a second Plague Doctor, like the real one underneath. Okay, so if I can't trust this Plague Doctor, the best play to do with him is to get a play that allows me to trust him by doing this. He's saying that he's not corrupted, so that's the true Plague Doctor. What are the other cards that we have? Puppeteer, Poisoner, and Lilith. So I want to go off of an assumption that... Oh, wait. Druid. Hold on. The Druid. We can learn if the Druid is speaking the truth by checking if they say that the Plague Doctor is the only outcast. There are no outcasts. You're lying, so you're either corrupted or evil. We've got a Fortune Teller. We can tell if they are corrupted or evil by pointing at you two. It thinks that they're true, so then that's another corruption or evil. There are no corrupted characters. That has to be the case with a Plague Doctor, so you're corrupted or evil. 7 is good. So if 7 is good, what does that mean for the rest of the board? If 3 or 8 are a puppet. So you could be a puppet, you could be an evil character and telling the truth, and you could be telling the truth. And then I would kill you 3 as the 3 other evil characters, and the puppet is the 4th one. And between 5, villager, 4 itself, and 7, there's a villager, outcast, and minion. You would be another corruption, and then that goes over our corruption limit. Right? No, but a poisoner. Oh, but a poisoner could hit it, but if I'm making this assumption, this isn't a poisoner. No, but it could be corrupted from the Plague Doctor, and the poisoner could be hitting one of these cards around it. I think I'm going to start with that. I would like to know... I'd like to know if you're corrupted or evil. Corrupted. Okay, so then that's hit by the Plague Doctor, so then they all have to be beside each other. I don't think I'm able to... Yeah, I put myself into a hole because I'm not able to discern which of these 3 is evil. Wait. With this setup, I've said that these guys are all green. Was there any basis for that? No, right. I'm thinking if 4 evils are left to be killed, then I can just kill these 3 and this is the 4th evil, but that's not the case because a puppet is the 4th evil and they can be telling the truth, which infects one of these greens. I'm not going to think about it too much. I'm on village 7. I've got 3 hearts. I'm going to go next if this doesn't work out. Puppet. I'm going to assume that 3 is the puppeteer and the poet is speaking the truth. Yep. And now we have 2 more evils. Is there any way that I can get them out? No. It's likely that this one's a poisoner and he poisoned one of these 2. Okay. And because the game hasn't ended yet, that means that this card is safe. Or sorry, not safe, but like a villager. And this one is somebody that's evil. I got lucky. Ascension level increased. Okay. So the rounds are going to get even more difficult. Don't know exactly how. I mean, it feels like I'm running into more 50-50s and the assumptions that I have to make lead to like longer chains, but that could just be me. It could be me playing poorly. It's definitely not as easy as the tutorial, that's for sure. I just don't know what the difference between Ascension 4 and Ascension 3 is. Okay, well, I'll be back in the next video to play Ascension 4.